Hello, everybody. This is Rokelle Lerner from Crossroads Centre Antigua. You know, there is a wonderful addictionologist, psychologist named Abraham Tversky. And when asked what is joy, he says, I prefer to use the word flourishing or thriving than the word joy. He said that thriving or flourishing is not always a pleasurable sensation or mood, but a way of being in the world that can encompass the fullness of joy as well as suffering and discontent. But why would the experience of flourishing encompass both pleasure and suffering? It seems paradoxical, doesn't it? We don't change our state by resisting or running away from our emotions. To move on in our recovery and deepen our spirit, we must allow ourselves to be fully where we are at the moment. It doesn't mean we have to act out on our emotions, but we must acknowledge them. Many people are afraid to do this, understandably. We imagine that we'll get stuck in wallowing or misery, but accepting and acknowledging your situation, your emotional state, is very different than indulging in self-pity. Unlike wallowing, the acknowledgement of your emotions frees you from the terrible stress of pretending everything is okay when you know it isn't. Unfortunately, many of us have learned 3 typical responses when we feel unpleasant emotions or discontent. And the first is that we start numbing ourselves or medicating ourselves through addiction, dissociation. The second way we learn to deal with unhappy emotions is we become aggressive with ourselves in the form of self-harm, deprecating messages, or we turn it against others. We become emotionally aggressive or physically aggressive with other people. Thirdly, what we do sometimes is we desperately look for comfort anywhere, or pleasure through food or sex or love, or shopping, or some other compulsive behavior that chokes the life out of us. How many of us have looked for quick fixes that don't exist? This takes practice and courage and patience. But if we can begin to acknowledge and be with whatever arises, both discomfort and joy, we'll begin to value the preciousness of our whole life, with the rough edges and the smooth edges. I'm going to end by reading you a wonderful poem by the Sufi poet Rumi. It's called The Guest House. So take a breath, close your eyes, and let this in. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from the beyond. Until next time.